Hello everybody, welcome back to the Final Fantasy 13 walkthrough. Just starting off here, I just wanted to show you guys the route that I ran to acquire a bunch of Deceptisol and Fortisols. I do have to apologize though, during my loops, or I don't know, during the path I took, I finished the battle that was right here, and I was a little bit too close to the treasure sphere, so I opened it up like off screen. So unfortunately, you didn't get to see that it's a 100 gil inside this one. So you know, I don't know, probably not that big of a deal. But I guess just know that that's what's in this treasure sphere outside this battle. I did this this battle this way. Basically, I didn't do anything with Vanille, and I just let Hope take this Pantheran down. And to be honest, I don't know. So the reason being is that shrouds drop more frequently when you have a 0-star rating, and you know, it's something like 8 times the rate if you have a 0-star. But to be honest, I don't know. I almost feel like it's not even worth the time because it takes a little bit longer. Whereas, you know, I probably could have done, you know, been on my way and done more battles, you know. So I don't know. Whatever. I guess, you know, do what you feel is best. But I just been hammering these enemies down quick and moving on. And that actually may be more relevant later on in the game when the you know, the chances to get these shrouds drop down significantly. I mean, right now in this area specifically, they're, I wouldn't say that they're super common, but they are well, more common than anywhere else in the game. So you know, I guess again, take that how you want. But I did all my farming right here. I suspect that I won't ever have to worry about that or those anymore. I could be wrong, but you know, I don't know that there's a whole lot of fights in the game that well, basically, I guess what I should say is that I don't expect I'll have to stop, you know, and farm for them specifically again, or at least not for a long time. And you know, to be honest, I put a ton of time in right here, not intentionally, mind you. I was kind of doing other things. I was you know, watching some videos, making videos, and as well as you know, just kind of cruising around looking up info, and it just happened to spend a ton more time here than I expected, but that was all right. But anyways, so this is, you know, again, this is the loop that I kind of run. I'd run this circle. And then actually in the next screen, I do go up and kill the 2 Pantherons, because I noticed that if you don't take care of those 2, when you come back into this area, one of the fights will be missing. So, and what I mean by that is, instead of, you know, 5 encounters here, I think it's 5, maybe it's 6 in this area. But you know, one will not have respawned. So again, you know, I would suggest, if you're going to run this loop, go all the way up, you know, just like we did at the very first, or at the start of the video, and go take care of the 2 Pantherons up there, and then run back into this area. There's a Fortisol finally. So you know, that being said, the other thing about you know, finishing these with 5-star ratings is that you know, you're more likely, or you're going to get rare drops more frequently, and you know, I don't know, I guess I prefer those, in doing it that way. Number one, the battle speed is a lot faster. I really don't like just sitting around waiting for, you know, Hope to finish off everything by himself. And you know, the rare drops in this game are useful. I mean, you know, depending on the fight, you could say that they're more useful than, you know, some other fights, but for the most part, you know, rare drops are not a bad thing. So So generally, and I would say from here on out, I will be focusing primarily on, you know, getting 5-star ratings. I'm not going to worry too much about shrouds from this point on, really. That may change, you know, in a certain video here or there, and I'll try to point that out when we get there. But again, for the most part, I would say that I'm going to be aiming for those 5-star battles or 5-star ratings. And there was a Deceptisol, so not too bad. You know, I actually mentioned it in the other video as well, but it did seem to me here that I got twice the amount of Deceptisol that than Fortisol. So, you know, I ended up, yeah, it was actually more than that, I think. Now that I think about it, it was probably close to 3 times the amount. But anyways, here I took a little cut, and it's kind of interesting here. Every time you load up your game, they have the little loading screen with kind of a recap of what's going on in the chapter. Those are kind of cool to read.
No daydreaming now.
All right. Anyways, we're gonna start moving on here. So, like I said, in the first part of this video was mostly just showing you guys the loot that I take, and this is kind of how I finish it off. So, you know, from this point, I would kill these 2 Pantherons, and then I would actually run back into that initial area where we started at, and then I'd make that same loop again. But we are, like I said, gonna move on here, and you know, again, one more time, the treasure chest here, right outside this battle, is 100 gil. So there you go. You see that. It's kind of sitting there on the ground because I've already opened it. But anyways, let's move on here.
What are they?
See, you failed. This is what happens when Lassie don't complete the focus that Fal'Cie gave him.
Huh?
Let's even these odds.
All right, so here's our first battle with Seath. And basically, these are Lassie that have not completed their focus. And this is what happens to them. So obviously, pretty crazy stuff.
No problem. How did you get in here? You gotta leave. Okay, listen. Find some place to hide and keep quiet. Once I find Sarah, we'll all leave together. You'll be home in time for dinner.
You...
Wait! Who's Sarah?
My wife. Future wife, that is. She's a Pulse Lassie.
No.
She's here somewhere, along with that Fal'Cie. I gotta find her and set her free.
What's wrong with you? Why do you want to help a Lassie? They're the enemy.
Huh?
How can you save a Lassie? You're not... That's insane!
Probably. But I gotta do something, right? I'll be back.
Should we wait around for him and hitch a ride?
I'd rather go to Pulse! Why is this happening to me? When they found the Fal'Cie the other day, we were just visiting Bodum. But the army took us, threw us on that train. And because of that guy, Mom is...
Probably shouldn't leave them alone.
And he wants to help Lassie?
Hey again.
Hey. Let's go with him. You gotta talk to him, Hope. If you don't take this chance, you regret it forever.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
What's gotten into you, soldier? Thought you came for a fight.
My sister.
Your sister?
She's a Lassie.
What? A pulse Lassie?
The Fal'Cie has her captive, but I'll find her.
Is she still... Hey, what was her focus? When she became a Lassie, what did the Fal'Cie order her to do? It wasn't blow up Cocoon or anything like that, was it?
I didn't ask.
Listen to me. When a person gets cursed by a Fal'Cie, they become a Lassie, and they get given a focus, right? How do I put this? If they don't carry it out, Lassie end up as one of those things. What I'm saying is, if your sister's gone that far, I mean, she might still... How can I... Oh, man. There's no way to turn a Lassie back into a human. Even if she completes her focus, there's no changing her fate. She'll live her life as a Fal'Cie slave. Don't make her suffer.
Just say it! Any Lassie, anyone who might ever become a Lassie should be wiped off the face of Cocoon. It's people like you that started the Purge in the first place.
Alright, so back to Lightning and Saz here. We've got to continue on. And it seems to me that the gas here are, or sorry, ghoul. The ghoul are pretty easy to land preemptive attacks on. So I suppose, I think for this area anyway, I think I ended up at, you know, somewhere probably around like 75% of the fights were preemptives, and obviously the good thing about that is then, you know, the combat just is crazy fast. Alright, what do we have over here? Yeah, so they stagger really fast, and then, well, obviously one hit staggers them after a preemptive, but then they've got such little health that I'm even able to get to this second one and stagger it before its chain gauge drops down. Tear of Frustration. So I think the Tear of Frustration is its rare. Power Wristband. Alright, so right now I'm going to actually equip this Power Wristband. Okay, so here's I don't know if I'd say a predicament, but so you keep in mind that every time your leader dies in combat, that means that's a game over or a kind of a retry. This game's kind of like has a weird game over system. It's actually kind of nice, to tell the truth. But so if you take off the Iron Bangle, obviously that's going to drop Lightning's health down to like what, 200. And to be honest, that's pretty darn low. But I felt like it was kind of worth it for right now. There's, well, maybe from here on out it'll be worth it. Anyways, As long as you're, you know, paying attention to your health and using potions when needed, it shouldn't be an issue, but I really like the extra damage from that power wrist. Now, that would have been just as useful on somebody like Saz, because for the time being, even though I think he's technically in Ravager mode right now, well, actually he might be in Commando mode, come to think of it. Nobody has magic spells right now, so you know everything that everybody is using is physical based, and so to be honest, that would actually help out literally everybody right now. Now I don't know why I came down here. I think I was just trying to be or trying to explore everything, well, but not realizing that this is the way you come up here. So we're just kind of backtracking, unfortunately, but we'll head back here once I realize that that's what I did. But yeah, so anyways, that's not going to last much longer, though, with the whole, you know, everybody using physicals. Well, you could, I suppose. To a certain extent, you know, there'll be a point where, you know, everybody could kind of go back to using physicals, but shortly here, that's not going to be the case anymore, and people will be, or our characters will be moving into their actual roles. So yeah, so I guess just keep that in mind. But as of right now, that power rest is pretty useful on literally anybody. I think I went with lightning. I guess just because, I don't know. Maybe not the best choice though. Again, you know, she's fairly low on health, and you know, I don't know. That just kind of it adds a little more risk, I suppose. But I felt that it was okay. Now, the other cool thing, though, about that was once I equipped that, it gave her a physical wall, 5, I think it is. And my understanding, and hopefully I'm not getting this wrong, but my impression is that whenever she's attacked by a physical hit, she will take 5 less damage. So it automatically takes 5 damage off of whatever she would, you know, normally take. Let's make sure that that's the case, though. It's in status? Yeah, this is gonna be... I gotta try to find this now, and I think maybe it's the equipment screen here. Okay, passive ability. So negates the first 5 points of damage from physical attacks. So yeah, there you go. So it takes off 5 damage automatically. And that's... you know, again, that's called a passive ability. There's tons of those in the game. Some of them more useful than others, I would say, but you know, I guess just keep that kind of stuff in mind. Hope there has the, what was it, critical shield for his, which, you know, that's also pretty nice. Let's read what that says here. Slightly boosts physical and magic resistance when HP is critical. Wow, okay, so that actually does a little bit of a different effect than I remembered, but still good, really good. Anyways, alright, let's keep moving on here. Keep plugging down these ghouls. Yeah, and they're dropping like crazy fast. Alright, so here's a ghast. I don't think you can get a preemptive on this guy unless you use a Deceptisol, which is exactly what I'm going to use. I don't know, they're pretty easy though, so I don't know that, you know, that it's absolutely necessary to use one of these. I just wanted to get him down quickly. They are quite a bit more beefy than the other see it from the area, so, you know, I guess do what you prefer, but yeah, that guy went down really quick. And to be honest, you know, that's kind of like with most fights. I mean, to be honest, there's not a whole lot of fights that I would say that are like, you know, ridiculously difficult, and you know, for the most part, I would say that these I don't know, I want to say random fights, but they're not random. But you know, these these, yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't know what would be a good term for these, but these initial encounters here, especially in the beginning of the game, there's nothing to them. Everything goes down pretty quickly, and you know, you just don't need to. You don't really need to use those. I would say though, you know, anything that's got a really high stagger threshold is not a bad idea to use. You know, something like a Deceptisol. You know, well, as long as it's got a ton of health. So if it's got basically high HP and a high stagger threshold, that's a good time to use a Deceptisol. Just because, you know, again, otherwise it takes you a really long time to get that chain gauge built up, and then it's got a ton of extra health, so you know it would take longer. So generally that will be, you know, where I will recommend using, you know, a Deceptisol, sometimes even a Fortisol. You know, it depends. But I'll try to point out battles like that, or times where I feel like it's you know, maybe a good idea to use one of those. All right, yeah, these guys are going down fairly quickly though. So one thing that I want to toss out here, being that we just got it, was the power wristband. So my impression, and I'll do a bit more research though, just to verify. But my impression was that the target times for these battles are based on your character's stats, and things like the power wristband are actually going to lower the target time. Here I'm going to use a Deceptisol just because you know, we got 2 gas. Now I think a blitz here would have been the best choice to start out with, but I didn't. Oh wait, no, I did. Okay, so I did get him staggered, but maybe, I don't know, maybe that blitz missed the other one. I'm not sure. Anyways, the second one didn't end up getting staggered. It's looking like, yeah, his chain gauge dropped all the way to nothing. Anyways, so what were we talking about there? Boy, I kind of lost my train of thought there. Oh, target times. Yeah. Okay. So things like you know, when you boost up your stats, your target time is going to be lower. So you know, that's not necessarily a detriment, but it will get to a point where I suppose it could be. So you know, if that starts to become a problem, you know, that might be something that you want to look at. But I guess it's tough. You know, usually you think that better stats means better target times, but not always the case.
Sarah! Time to go. We have to leave before the army. What?
That's a Pulse brand. That girl's a Lassie.
I already told you that.
Pulse Lassie are the enemies of Cocoon.
So they should die?
Listen, if she fails her focus, you know how that'll end.
And killing her is a mercy?
You came.
Sarah! Sarah.
Is that my hero?
Let's get you out of here.
Hands off. I'm taking her home.
Sis,
I'm not your sister. You couldn't protect her. It's your fault she...
Save us.
Sarah?
You can save us. Protect us all. Save Cocoon.
Save Cocoon? Sarah, that was your focus?
anything. I'll do anything. Leave it to me, you'll see. I'll protect Cocoon. I'll save everyone.
Somehow, I'll make things right.
You just relax.
Thank you.
Sarah!
is she turning to crystal?
Lassie who fulfill their focus are transformed into crystal and gain eternal life.
Just like the stories say.
Sarah, sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams? She's not sleeping! She's...
She's alive.
No.
The legend. Remember the legend. Lassie who fulfilled their focus turn to crystal and gain eternal life. It's the same with Sarah. Eternal life. She's not dead! Sarah's my bride-to-be. I promise to be hers forever. I don't care how many years I have to wait.
It's over! Open your eyes and face reality!
Sarah, does becoming a Lassie really mean losing everything?
Oh, wait.
What now?
The army.
The target is almost in place. Surface team, what is your status?
Good to go. Resistance is under control. The assault proceeds as planned.
Leave no trace. The pulse vestige never existed.
Sanctum strike. Bring down the Vestige and the Foul Sea right with it.
Aren't they taking it back to Pulse? That's what the patch was, right?
All they care about is getting everything from Pulse off Cocoon. Dead or alive, it's all the same.
We can't stay here. They'll kill us.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Trenchcoat, where you going?
Date with the Foul Sea. Got some things to talk about.
What? You gonna ask it to help her? Are you out of your mind, kid? That thing wants to chew us up and spit us out.
Well, what do you want me to do?
What?
Lightning?
Here we go.
Okay, so here it's explained that when Lassie complete their focus, they get turned to crystal. So here, obviously, Sarah was turned to crystal, and yeah. So unfortunately, though, I think the group here doesn't truly understand what Sarah's focus was. And that'll be explained later. Obviously, I'm gonna try to not spoil anything as well as I can. You know, you never know though. You never know with me. Again, I try my best, but you never know. So you've been warned. All right, what do we got here? Oh, so these things apparently are extremely evasive. It looked like I missed just a ton there. And I don't know if they're only evasive to physical attacks, but yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I missed quite a bit there. couldn't manage to get a preemptive from these guys, but oh well. Anyways, you know what? I think this ends up being the last battle, and then we've got a boss fight coming up here. I think that starts off in the next video. So, all right, I guess I'm gonna cut the commentary here though. So, like, comment, subscribe, whatever you guys want to do. Hope this guide was helpful though, and I hope you join me for more. All right, thanks for watching.